Hi guys, this is part 2 of my Busan video. If you didn't watch the first part, you can check out my channel. It's about Haeundae mostly and several areas around Haeundae. And in this video you will see all the other places that I visited in Busan. I hope you enjoy and let's check it out. Our next stop in Busan is the Gwangalli beach. Let's go! So it's a slow letterbox. That's why there is a sleeve. So you can write a postcard. Or not. Take a postcard. This. This, and then right from boom to boom, and a message. Yeah, they're the same. Yeah, just write something and then put it in the mailbox. And the delivery, you can even send it overseas. And the postcards will be sent 1 year later. Depending on where you are sending them, yeah, it might take more than a year to get it. Here is a ocean report center. I would say sports center probably. I guess you can register there for some lessons or rent some things. And there is also like a fun water sports area. You can see some people doing water sports on this site. In many beach areas you will find these things. It's just like an air pump. You can clean your feet from sand with these things. You can sometimes also find them in mountains, so you can clean your shoes. It's pretty handy actually. Along the Gwangalli beach there are many restaurants and cafes. So there on the other side of the street I also saw several bars. I think if you come here, you can definitely enjoy swimming during the daytime, but also a very nice time in the evening. Let's explore the other side of Gwangalli. I think the buildings there probably just have restaurants, bars. I see some hotels. Yeah, let's see what's there. I discovered the Gwangalli library. I think you can just take some books and sit there and read. Looks pretty nice. I think it's a nice idea. And then you can sit here and enjoy the sea view. We just walked from there all the way to here. And if you think that that's the end, so this is not the end. There is still something behind the corner. This is the new Millac Market. I'm curious what you can buy there. Our next station in Busan is in front of Busan-yok, in front of the Busan station. I'm pretty curious how it looks like here. Actually pretty surprised to see mostly actually Russian shops, or at least half of them in Chinatown are Russian restaurants, Russian cafes, Russian shops. You can find like money exchange, you can find phone shops, you can find glasses shops sold by Russians. Yeah, not what I expected, but nice finding. Did you know that Busan has actually the biggest shopping mall in the world? So this is Shinsegae, it's a huge company in Korea, and this is the shopping mall. It has 2 huge buildings, even 3, and there's so much stuff to discover. It's at the Expo subway station. There is a Lotte shopping mall, and next to it is the Shinsegae shopping mall. You can just enter from the subway, and on this level you can find many small affordable shops, clothes, cosmetics. Basically everything that is, I think, more or less fashionable at this season. So you can find many women clothing shops and also some men clothes, but of course also some other stuff like hats and jewelry and decorations, phone cases, whatever. This is the main area where many luxurious shops are. There is also hot spring here, so you can visit there too. And this is the second building on the other side of the street. So there are also many nice and affordable shops too, where you can buy nice clothes or whatever. There is also a bookstore, which is pretty big, and you can of course find here pachinko, which I think became pretty famous worldwide, and there are also like The Little Prince and some other books. It's pretty huge, and you can of course buy there some other stuff too. Every big city in Korea has themed streets, so there are some historic background at the streets, like here. So there was a train going on here, but a sad story about Busan is that it was a city where a lot of Korean refugees came during Korean War, and especially this stairs was a big point where many refugees met. So some families were living there and meeting at the stairs. Another interesting spot that I found in Busan is a book street. And I'm, as a lover of books, of course had to visit this place. Let's check it out. Now we are going to Gamcheon. Gamcheon is a town in Busan where many refugees were living. So it was a refugee town, and there are many very old houses, and the city decided not to destroy them but to make an art project for it. So you will find a lot of art here, not just like the fish, but also the houses were decorated nicely, as you can see here. So there are also many shops, small shops and brunch places, and you can even take some workshops there in some places. So there are a lot of tourists coming here to look at this town, but you have to walk a lot up and down, as you can see, but if you come up you will have an amazing view over the whole town, the colorful town, and of course a sneak peek at the sea. Now we're going to Jagalchi. Jagalchi is an area with many things to see. For example, this traditional market where you can buy clothes and bags and food and cosmetics and everything that you can think of. shoes, and yeah, some snacks, of course, too. Soaps, bags, spices, sauces, fish. But Jagalchi is also very famous for the night market, so the market is open at night and you can buy here some different food, and there are even some sitting areas where you can go with this food and grab a drink, and then you can just sit and enjoy your drink and enjoy your food, but you can also just take it with you somewhere and enjoy it at another place if you want to. We grabbed some interesting ice cream, so you can choose your combination of fruit and milk, and they will just make for you the ice cream directly in front of your eyes. Also a lot of restaurants outside of the night market, so you can also choose one of them and just also sit outside and eat and drink. Mostly it's with seafood, but there's some interesting stuff to eat. And then there is also the BIFF area. It's the Busan International Film Festival area, which even has its own Walk of Fame, if you want to call it like that. Even here, of course, you can find a lot of street food, mostly. This place is actually very close to the Jagalchi subway station, so you can just go until the subway and come out. But these were my favorite places. This is a pojang matcha or pocha. So in the past they were carriages with food. Now they're usually standing there, and you can just sit there and choose whatever they have in this display. Tell the ladies who are selling and cooking this how you want it to cook, and they will prepare it for you. We're waiting for our fish here to be fried. And the interesting thing is that there were mostly Koreans sitting there, so I think it's quite an authentic experience if you go there. And sometimes the Koreans will also just start to talk with you. And of course, you should not forget about these fun things. They're actually everywhere in Korea, but we decided to try them in Busan, and we failed several times, but I was really happy after finally getting one. Actually, we got even 3 things. And this is Songdo Beach. I think it's not too famous, but it's famous for the capsules. That's the only beach, at least in Busan, of which I know, so you can just go there and go for a ride on a capsule over the sea to an island and enjoy the nice view by daylight or by night. On the island there is this fancy dragon which is spraying some water. It was extremely humid and hot, so it was a nice cool down if you were there. The next spot where we went is Taejongdae Park. You can go there by this train if the weather is good, or just by foot. Then you can find some nice stations there, like this forest wood library, which I found extremely nice, and there is also a temple there which you can visit. But we were targeting for the lighthouse. It's at some cliffs, and an interesting fact here, so apparently on the rocks at the left people found footsteps of dinosaurs, so they are advertising that some dinosaurs have been there. I think you cannot walk there, but maybe you can try to recognize them from the top or just enjoy the sea view. And you can visit the lighthouse for free, but you have to go up many stairs if you want to go to the top. But the view is pretty nice, and you can see the rocks and the wild sea, and at the bottom there is even something like a food area. I think you can grab some food there too. And there are definitely some foods which you should really try out in Busan. For example, the suyuk, that's the meat that you see there, and sundae, the blood sausage. Busan is famous for that. Usually they serve it with the soup and several side dishes. Of course, there is a lot of seafood in Busan, and you definitely should try at least once the shellfish, which are just fried really on fire. Basically, they put some veggies and cheese on it, and this thing was literally like the size half of my arm, but it was extremely delicious, and I really loved that restaurant with the seafood. It's at the Haeundae area, by the way. Or if you really want to grab something really fresh, you can just go to one of the seafood markets, either at Jagalchi, or this one was at the Gwangalli beach. And upstairs, this kind of markets usually have like restaurants, so you can grab here the fish or other seafood that you want, and then just go upstairs and they will prepare it for you. Here we have a raw octopus, still moving a bit, but you should try it, it's really delicious. And of course the raw fish, which is called hue in Korea, and that was really awesome. So yeah guys, that was it for Busan. I hope you enjoyed the whole trip. Please leave some comments. What do you like about Busan, or what were you surprised of about Busan? And don't forget to like and to subscribe, and see you next time.